In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Well, hello, and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
You know, there were times in the peak of this global darkness, there were times when I worried that we wouldn't be able to recreate the magic of being in a room together, and yet when I see you two swearing at me through Zoom, I know we're gonna be okay.
Well,
You know?
I, to be honest, we did a couple of these at the start of lockdown where we were actually just on audio, and I think it lacked something, frankly.
We were swearing at you then as well. Like
Yeah,
whenever you
yeah.
do the intro, we have to do something to occupy ourselves, even if it's
The thing that was missing was that you didn't react.
That was it.
No.
Yeah.
Whereas when we're together in person and you disrespect me, I of course give you the attention
That
you
we
so
so rightly
desperately need.
It's the only way I've ever got attention from anybody.
Let's be honest, I'm going to be a terrible parent. Like if we ever go down that road.
That's why the dog is such a shitbag, because we only give her attention when she's a dickhead.
Flash forward 10 years, my child is going to be like, Jonathan, where's my chocolate pudding? And I'm going, you can't have any, Gregory, until you finish your vegetables. I'm going to go, you fucking idiot, John. I don't respect you at all. Okay, son.
You're not my real father. Well, actually, I am. I said you're not my real father.
I don't think you heard. Father, I mean Jonathan. Why haven't you done my tax return? Because you're 6, that's why.
I'm scared of my commanding son. His hunger for respect knows no bounds. So how's everyone's week been?
Oh, you know.
Fairly uneventful as far as I can recall.
I
don't think I've done an awful lot this week. I've just been to the forest, as I was explaining to you, which is why we're recording slightly later than planned.
Ooh,
which was very pleasant.
Good.
Can't complain. But other than that, I've just been doing some bits of work. And yeah, that's about it. Football has returned, however, which is wonderful.
Wonderful for you.
Wonderful for me. So I watched 5 games in the last 3 days.
Okay.
Is that... Nick, I do care about your week, but I've got to pull on this thread. Is that an accelerated amount of football than normal?
You mean pre all this?
Yeah. Are they making up for lost time?
Oh yeah, they are. So there's football on basically every day for the next couple of months now. But obviously in empty stadiums. So that's why they're broadcasting them all, because they can't have anyone in the stadium. So I won't watch all of them because I'll be a single man before too long. But I will watch a few just to make up for lost time.
Have all the footballers kind of completely lost their edge?
It's funny you should say that, John, because yes, it turns out after watching 5 games in 3 days, the actual ferocity, if you like, of the games has gone completely.
Wow. We're all just kind of waddling around.
They are a bit, to be honest. The pace of it is just dreadful.
The ball is 2 feet away.
Yeah. The best game I've watched of the 5 was actually Cheltenham Town, who were in the League 2 playoffs.
And that's saying something.
And that,
Am I right, guys?
And that
Am
would
I
normally
right?
be right at the bottom of the pile.
Right. I don't wanna be rude to Cheltenham Town or other.
Oh no, do it.
Other teams of their stature, but
It's
is
all
it
right,
more that like the rest of the world has been brought down to their level?
Yeah, I think that's probably not too far from the mark.
Yeah, they train twice a month, if that, you know.
Because they've had this break of 103 days or something like that, but that is longer than the actual gap in between seasons. So this is the longest they've gone without playing any football. Probably. So the thing
is that they should have obviously, and I'm sure they will have been, especially the Premier League chaps, would have all been keeping up their fitness regimes, keeping working out all that stuff. I'm sure. So, do you think there's a psychological element to playing games regularly?
Well, yeah. I mean, playing games is very different from just being fit. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've upped the number of subs as well from 3 to 5 because a lot of people are getting injured.
Because they're all brittle bones.
Because
now.
they've just not got the muscle mass anymore.
Oh my god!
Drink some milk, for God's sake.
Like, I think this is an opportunity to rebrand the sport as football apocalypse, and it's like every game somebody dies or like there's a colossal injury of some kind.
They'll open betting markets on who's going to get injured next. I think.
Yeah, it's like Destruction Derby where cars just drive at each other to crash. Like that's what we're watching now.
It's
we're watching
like,
humans crashing.
It's like horse racing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if the managers
Oh.
were pacing the sideline with a shotgun cocked over their arms, I think it'd be a real motivator to not fall over.
And the striker missed the shot. He's going to have to be destroyed.
That would certainly reintroduce the edge. Yes,
Absolutely. I mean, there's the edge.
there's
Done.
the edge for you.
Is the issue not that they've gotten unfit and not that they're out of practice? Is it simply that with a break of more than 100 days, they finally discovered they don't like football?
Yeah. Thing is, there are some footballers who don't like football. That's the funny thing. There was a left back at Tottenham Hotspur. His name was Benoit Asuakotu, and he was very public about the fact he did not like football.
What didn't he like about it?
He didn't like playing it. He didn't like the atmosphere surrounding it. He didn't like the people involved. But it just turned out he was good at it, and he got paid well. So he was like, yeah, go on then. I'll play football for a few years.
I have actually wondered, not this specific thing about myself, but I've wondered whether I have a natural talent for something out there in the world that which I've never like got into, for the reason being that I don't want to because I hate the sound of it.
Yeah.
You know, like I might be a really good bricklayer, but I'm just like,
but no desire to
go out.
I reckon you would be. You'll find it one day, and you'll just be like, I could have made money off that.
Yeah, I'll be like 98 years old.
Yeah,
but
still, you'll just build a conservatory at 98, and it'll be the best conservatory ever built.
I'll be like, shit, this is the first.
They'll bury you
ever
in it.
built.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a lot of respect for a footballer who kind of just hates every minute of it, because that's like me and a lot of the jobs I've had in my life where I'm kind of like, I don't enjoy this job, but I'm apparently all right at it.
I guess the difference between him and you, though, John, is that he gets paid millions of pounds to do it.
Thing is, knowing what football fans are like, I think it's very brave to admit you don't like football.
I mean, that's definitely true. I think that's probably the biggest thing he has to worry about, really, is the outcry.
Yeah, but at the same time, like as you said, like he doesn't like football, but he's very good at it, and I would imagine he has a certain level of fitness which will stop everyone else stealing his lunch money.
That's true. Maybe that's the only
I think he might be
into
retired
football
now, actually. But yeah, I certainly remember at the time he was very vocal about the fact he did not like football at all.
Just imagine him running around the pitch with like tears streaming down his face, just like, "Let me go home."
That's what
I want to play video games.
I want to be a bricklayer. I'm going
to be the best fucking bricklayer.
I do kind of imagine, like, not in my eye, it's not necessarily that he's crying for 90 minutes; it's that he's scowling.
Yeah,
like he's angry, like he really hates it. All he can think about is that half-finished conservatory.
He like looks at the football and it turns into a brick in his vision. Like, oh, I wish.
It's like they're at training and they're like, manager's like, okay, guys, knuckle down. Here's our strategy. You two up the left, strong sideways defense.
I can see you've talked football strategy before, John.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
What was his name again? Rev?
Benoit Asuakoto.
He's like, Ben, what are you doing? What's that? Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing, Gov. What is it? Is that a set square? What are you doing?
You put that down. You put that down and you focus.
Stop measuring up the dressing room.
What's that in it? Turn out your pockets. Is that mortar? Is that mortar in your pockets?
That's weighing you down for the big match.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
What's this? What's it? Grout? Grout?
I knew there was a reason that cement mixer was out front. I just didn't put the pieces together.
I'm trying to put the pieces together. I'm a bricklayer.
Oh.
And when I talk about a defensive wall, Ben, I don't mean that lovely breeze block array you stuck up outside. Delightful. Finishing's lovely. Look at the plastering, but no. Focus on the game. Hope he's happy. Lame jokes.
Who knows?
Who's got a hate anyway?
Well, I've got a hate.
Oh.
And by I've got a hate, I mean I don't have a hate.
Oh.
So I've resorted to life hacks.
Oh, life
for
hacks
God's
are
sake.
back. Life hacks are back.
Yeah, my regularly repeating segment has returned with some whoppers from the internet.
We're getting to the point where that we need a theme tune for this, I think.
Yes.
If only
I
we knew.
agree completely.
If only we knew someone who was musically talented.
Yeah, if only.
Nick.
I wouldn't say I'm musically talented. I'm just gifted.
There's a keyboard behind you, in fairness.
Yeah, that's true. There is, but Ali is the one who usually plays that. So, in my defence, but yeah, I agree. We should have some sort of jingle for this segment. It's basically the Nick couldn't come up with any hates segment. That's the core of it. Really.
So the really sucky part is that as your life gets better, like every time you have a good week where you don't hate something about the world,
yeah,
you make our lives worse in a way by bringing a life hack to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the function of the podcast as a whole, really. Like all our listeners maybe have good to varying qualities of good weeks, and then this comes along.
I very much feel like we're here to bring people down.
Yeah, I think so.
Together or down? Or
I mean,
take them
altogether-
down with us?
No, down.
All together
Take them
down
with us, yeah.
Yeah.
I want them to be as miserable as I am on a daily basis.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to kick us off,
So to get on with that.
how often do you suffer from the issue of sitting down on a toilet seat and you find that it's cold? And that's very distressing. Too distressing.
I'll tell you
to deal
what's
with.
worse before we get into the life hacks than
Sure.
sitting on and your ass cold. When you lean back on the toilet
Oh yeah,
and you get your back, that's worse
yeah, that's true.
than your ass.
And a lot of thoughts go through my head when I do that, and I try not to do it. And that is to say that's the inside of the lid that closes down on the waste disposal machine of my house.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah,
that is probably covered in some.
that's
stuff.
the worst bit. So don't lean back if you're sitting on the toilet.
Don't lean.
But
Don't,
I always do it.
you always do it.
Well, not always. Often.
Okay.
Which just guys could take a load off. I mean, well,
Yeah.
in many ways actually, but you're not gonna
Well,
sit bolt up.
maybe you can extend this life hack in that regard as well, because this life hack
Okay.
suggests if you've got one of those toilet seats that isn't a complete hoop, but instead is like two arms that come out, and there's a gap at the.
I know the
front, yeah.
ones.
Why not slide an old sock onto each arm of the seat?
No,
So that
No,
it's
that's
nice
not a life hack.
no,
and
that's a crime.
warm
That's
and
not a life hack, and
soft.
that is worse. I would argue that is worse.
I cannot think of anything worse than this.
There is a reason your feet can't touch your ass,
Yeah, it's that.
and it's because those two things should never mix.
I have on my phone. I've typed 9. I've typed 9, and I've typed 9, and my finger is hovering over the call button to report the crime that you've just committed. Oh no!
There's a picture of it for you.
Would
I'm holding up a
that's
picture.
ridiculous. Would I not need though to buy a different kind of toilet seat to enable me to do that hack?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the problem? I mean, you go out to B&Q, you buy a new toilet seat that costs somewhere in the region of £25, and a pair of socks that you're willing to never wear or touch ever again.
Yeah, but why not? Why not split? For me, this would be what's better or worse: doing that and knowing you've got a pair of shitty socks lying around, or just putting on like some really tight trousers and cutting a form-fitting hole around your anus, because it's exactly the same. Like the proximity of shit to fabric is pretty much.
This is the thing.
The thing
Like
is, those socks, even if they are old, that is a one-time use.
surely, if you leave
Even if
those
they're old socks.
if you leave those socks on that toilet for more than one shit session, then the spatter alone is going to be hard to stomach.
Yeah,
This is
that'd
why
be a nightmare.
this is.
I wouldn't do it because they'd be soggy, and you would instantly know where they've been.
But this is why people moved away from like having carpets in bathrooms or kind of having that little bit of fabric you'd have around the toilet.
The little like carpet dais that surrounds your stem of your toilet.
Because I'll take cold feet than just a big shitty rag on the floor. Like
The thing is, right, I've talked about this when we talked about toilet roll and multiply toilet roll and everything. And like, I'm not in that room to spend an hour in comfort. I'm in that room to get in there, to do a shit, and to get out as fast as I can. Like,
you're in that room to feel as miserable as the sin coming out of your body.
To feel ashamed and to feel embarrassed.
Thing is, I do some of my best work on the toilet.
Sorry, God.
In terms of texting people.
Oh,
I do
right,
a lot of my
really?
best. If I text you out of the blue, I'm on the toilet. Just so you know, for future reference.
If it's particularly witty or clever, it's definitely toilet time.
See, I'm sitting on the toilet. I think to myself, this is funny, and then I text whoever I think will find it funny.
I see. Yeah, I mean, there's something
That's
to
the
be
way
said.
I work.
There's something to be said for sitting in a neutral position and you're letting your brain focus on something menial, and then inspiration strikes. I often find the shower is the same for me. I do some of my best work in the shower. But again, like I'm not looking for a level of comfort in that space that is qualified by a need to have a shitty, sodden pair of socks. That's not an equivalent metric for me. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's. I agree that is a problem that some people might experience. A cold toilet seat. I'll give you that one, but I don't think that is the solution.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my problem with it.
Even if you rotated those socks, and even if they were, as you say, one use, then you wash them, I don't think they make water hot enough to wash away the memory of what you've done to those socks. Because even if I knew they were clean, even if I knew they'd gone through like a high foam cycle, I'd know.
This is the thing. You'd be at work and you'd be like, I'm wearing my toilet socks today.
Yeah. Thing is, again, I assume life hacks to be something that makes your life easier.
Yeah.
This seems to be more difficult than the thing. The current thing.
You made a good point with the toilet seat. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw a toilet seat that was like this. Like
the ones you're describing remind me of public toilets more than they do house toilets.
Is that what they're suggesting with this? Are they suggesting that if you go to no, that's definitely someone's home bathroom in the picture.
Plus, why are those toilet seats a thing? I don't get why are those toilet seats why?
Is it
why?
Is it like the window tax? Like for a while they were really just knuckling down on full toilet seats.
I think there's greater scope to accidentally nick your cock and balls on a toilet seat like that.
See, I was wondering whether the thinking is the opposite. If you have a notch at the front, there's a place for your ding dang to just drop straight through rather than catching on the.
But then they would get cold on the porcelain.
Oh yeah, big time.
I feel like this is opening a can of worms.
I hoped it would.
When you went to Japan, Nick.
Yeah, I went to Japan.
Did you experience any of the amazing toilets you hear about?
In fact, the very first thing I did in Japan was a special toilet because we arrived in the airport.
Sorry, you didn't go to a special toilet. You did a special toilet.
I experienced a special toilet.
I did a special toilet.
After an 18-hour flight, I wish I could do a special toilet like that.
Mama, I did special toilet, Mama. Yeah, I was desperate for something. Can't remember which one. You don't need to know. And rushed straight after got off the plane. Rushed straight to the loo in the airport, and it was covered in controls. And the first thing I noticed was that when I sat down, it was warm and it had like a heating element inside the seat. So that's that problem solved in a more hygienic way, I would argue. And then there was a button that had a musical note on it, and I was like, "Hey, I've heard the stories. This must be some sort of like song that plays." And I
Congratulations, you've just excreted.
Yeah. And then a burst of confetti.
Yeah.
I pressed it and it sounded like a babbling brook, like a really lovely sort of white noisy sound. And I think the idea of that was to sort of mask my fecal ejection sound.
So you're like, oh, finally, technology has solved the greatest problem. I'm gonna finally enjoy this crap. Seamless. It's amazing.
The thing is that I don't think I was doing a poo because I remember pressing the babbling brook button and thinking, oh, that's cool, but I don't need that. But then in the cubicle next door to me, I heard a man go, and then like drop something heavy into the water, and I was like, well, it didn't work then, did it? Because I heard him.
Unless
the last thing I want is to hear
that was a
someone
recording.
Else.
That might have been a sound effect. Yeah. That might have been a sound effect encouraging you to just hurry up and do it.
Nothing puts you at ease more than hearing someone else shit, because then you're like, I can do it too. I can do this.
Yeah.
I think for me, even like in a workplace where there might be like a ton of cubicles, even if there's like 12 cubicles, if I hear like even just one soul at the other end of a room, just go like, I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. It's just completely silent, and then you hear a. You're like, nope.
No.
I'll name that tune in one.
I think the very first episode we did of this podcast, I talked about how at my previous workplace there was the tiniest toilet in the world.
Oh yeah,
with one cubicle.
Memories.
That was around the kitchen table in our first house here in Cheltenham.
I sometimes wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, knowing that man is out there, and like he might be doing that to someone else again.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I've got more life hacks.
Oh, great!
This is a good one.
Wonderful.
Do you ever find how frustrating it is that when you're taking a group picture, you, the person taking the picture yourself, you don't get to be in it? Well, boy howdy, do I have a hack for you? Because what if one of the guys in the group picture is holding a full-length mirror, right? And they position that like they position a person in the group, but they angle it so that it's got you holding the camera like a goon, in like reflected in the mirror. Then you smile as you take a pic, and you're in it. Isn't that?
But you'd be holding the camera.
Yeah, you are absolutely holding the camera. Yeah, I've got a picture here of someone doing exactly that.
I just can't be doing with these people.
I'm so tired. Like that's an act of ontological terrorism. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I have so many issues with it because when you take a picture, like most of the time we don't think about the fact that there's someone stood there holding a camera. We sort of focus on the people in the image. Generally, that's what it's for, you know.
Yeah.
Also, why do you have to bring a full-length mirror with you everywhere you go? Like, what's the answer here?
Never leave home without it.
Leave home without it. No, exactly.
I want to say something funny, but that just makes me sad.
I think that everything's been said, to be honest.
That's not a life hack.
Nope. Okay, this definitely is. No cup holder in your car. Why don't you take a shoe off and just jam it into a shoe in the footwell?
Brilliant.
So,
there's lots of reasons.
Well, partly because you'll expose one of your toilet socks, and no one wants that.
Yeah, everyone will look at you just barefoot and know that you put socks on the toilet seat.
They'll immediately know.
Is that? Wait, so they're not? So they're saying you still keep the drink in the footwell?
Yeah, so you put the drink in your shoe in the footwell of the car.
But then how do you do the pedals without it being unsafe?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it?
Surely the whole point of wanting a drink in the car is that it's kind of like within grabbing distance while you're driving.
Yeah, and I really hope it isn't in the pedal footwell. That is to say, the driving footwell, because that's not good.
When you learn to
that's weird.
When you learn to drive, the driving instructor.
And why wouldn't you have a cup holder? And surely there's other things you could use as a cup holder before you did that.
Well, apparently not.
In any car.
You know when you learn to drive, right?
Right.
Oh, sure.
And the guy or lady teaching you might have that weird conversion in their car where they've got like pedals on both sides.
Yes, yeah. My driving instructor.
Dual control.
Do you ever think about those?
No, not until just now when you brought it up.
In what context?
Well, what if you were on a really long car journey and you were like, my feet are getting a bit tired?
Could you take over? Yeah, changing gear would be fun because it'd be
exciting.
Third.
But why would only your feet get tired?
My feet do get a little tired sometimes.
Yeah, my feet get tired.
Yeah.
Just your feet.
Well, if there's a lot of traffic,
use cruise control. Have you not got cruise control?
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah.
Looky
Bit of cruise
here.
control.
Looky here.
Yeah. Just take your hands off the wheel and relax.
And go to sleep.
Yeah.
Cruise control just maintains a speed, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So you reach a speed, you click a button, and then you will not exceed or decelerate.
Mm.
Do you have
That's
cruise
good.
control?
No, I've never driven a car with cruise control, and none of ours have.
Mm. We have a cruise control.
Wow,
it's pretty sweet.
It's rare that you say something that genuinely impresses me, and I'm like, wow,
yeah,
cruise control. That's astounding. Yeah.
Our smart car's automatic, which was an experience for me because I've never really driven an automatic car.
I don't even know how an automatic car works.
Well, I don't know. It's magic, probably. Isn't
it's amazing. Yeah, you just get in.
Witchcraft.
You just get in, clap your hands a few times, and just wake up.
Say the code word.
You think really hard about your destination, and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wouldn't that be good? Joking aside.
Wouldn't that be good?
Wouldn't that be good? If you could just think about being somewhere and then you go to sleep and you're there. Wouldn't that be amazing?
What are your thoughts on these self-driving cars then?
Oh, I'd be if they. I mean, if they wouldn't crash and kill me, which I'm not sure whether I can ever be sure.
Which they definitely would.
But if I could be sure that they were not going to kill me, I would buy one instantly. I would go all for it. I do not give a shit about driving. I hate it.
Haven't several of them crashed though?
I mean, that's a big thing, isn't it?
Yes, it
is early days to be.
There's going to be teething problems, sadly.
Sure, sure.
That involve death.
I mean, I would say that is the major concern.
It's probably the biggest thing you don't.
Driverless cars, that it might kill somebody.
That's the one thing you don't want. Really,
I feel like maybe because I think it's going to happen in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
But I do feel I'm staring down the barrel of the one thing which I'm going to be the old man who doesn't get. You know what I mean? Like my grandparents never developed beyond having 5 channels on their TV. Like they never understood, like how you could get more.
It is complicated.
So like I think I'm going to be like the 70-year-old guy who's like.
You're the only one in a
the only one who won't. Yeah, and everyone's going.
And you crash all the time.
All the time, yeah, because I'm part blind, and my rickets mean I can't.
And you've got a cup in a shoe in your footwell.
I think a lot about that I will one day be able to not understand the modern things, but then I'm wondering to myself, what will I not understand? What will be invented that I won't understand in the future?
Here's the thing, I think the older we get with technology, the more equipped we are to accept that technology evolves. So, like my grandparents say, none of them are alive at the moment, but that as an example, their technology level was considerably lower than like my parents, for example, who have lived through a massive change, and then we've lived through an even greater change. So we're potentially more equipped to deal with it later on. But there may still come a time when we're like, "What's this?"
I think I do. Yeah, and I think if you'd asked me like 10 years ago, I would have 100% been with you and said, no, I get it. Like I've grown up with technology.
We're gonna be young forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Forever.
Slow transition to the nursing home. We're like, shit.
Yeah. John in a pile-up of cars.
But no, I did agree with you. But then the last 10 years happened, and I kind of just discovered how tired I am all the time. And I don't think the reason I'm starting to realize I think the reason people get old and stop being able to keep up with it is not that they don't understand it; it's that they're just so tired.
They just give up.
That's probably a good shout. Actually,
they have no capacity to learn because you're
That
just
might be
like fuck this. I've been working for like 40 years and raising my ungrateful children.
Father,
my terrifying child.
Don't make me whip you again, Father. Come here at once and make me a fish finger sandwich.
You see, this is why I know I'm not going to be a good parent, because I've got it's just me and the cat in the house right now. And he's staring at me. He's sitting right next to me on a piece of paper on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
He's maneuvered himself perfectly onto the paper and just sitting there occasionally. Yeah, what is it?
It would be remiss of me, John, not to ask why there is a piece of paper on the floor.
Well, it's
that sounds like a hazard.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really one piece of paper. I should clarify. It's like one of those flip.
It's a book.
It's like those flip charts that you.
It's a book.
Yeah, it's a roll of paper from a flip chart. It's on the floor.
Oh, it would be remiss of me, John, not to ask why there's a flip chart on the floor.
Yeah, I think that answers more questions. Asks more.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it.
Why is there a flip chart on the floor? That sounds irresponsible.
Because I'm decorating a cupboard, and the cupboard it was in. I had to take stuff out of the cupboard to do the decorating.
I understand.
This is a bad.
That's context.
This is a bad story. It isn't interesting. I don't think.
No, it's not
I'm gonna end my hate segment with one final life hack, and I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me whether this is common knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
If you need to pee or smoke at a bar, placing your coaster. So you're at a pub. You got a drink, half drunk down. Right. Shit. I need to piss. I'm on my own. Right? But I've got a good spot. I've got a chair at a table. It's all fucking peachy for me right now. I need to go for a piss. If I place my coaster on top of my drink, this is universal bar language for I'm coming back, which prevents you from losing your drink and your seat.
No.
No.
Never heard of that.
No.
I would ask the barman. I think. I would say, can you just watch my drink for a minute? I'm going for a pee.
But no, he's not going to keep your seat for you.
Why?
Exactly.
seems like a really good way.
I would rather write an aggressive note, I think.
What, I'd pin it to your drink?
Yeah, and just say, "This is my drink. Mitts off, you."
This is my drink.
you dick.
No context for who my is.
Yeah. No, you don't need
This
context.
is my drink. Fuck off.
This is my drink, not yours.
I think this is
Sod off.
I think this is like when the Russian army was retreating from the Germans, and they knew they were giving up land, so they would burn it to stop other people enjoying it. I think this is like that. I think
this is it. Yeah.
If you're leaving like half a drink, you know something's going to happen to it. You might as well just tip it out on the bar, just out of spite.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, I think you're right. I think this Raoul, who of course writes all the life hacks, he wrote this one with a really dark ulterior motive, and the idea was, if I spread this myth, then it will keep tables constantly freeing up in pubs, and I'll finally get to sit down, because Raoul never gets to sit down in pubs.
Oddly enough, Raoul has coped remarkably well during self-isolation. In fact, he didn't even notice. His masters didn't really tell him what's going on.
No, Raoul doesn't need to know about current affairs.
Raoul likes to imagine what it's like to go to a pub and to actually like interact with people. And, he read a book once, and this is the opinion he got. He
doesn't really have a concept for a pub. He's just using words he's heard.
I've barely got a concept for a pub anymore.
At the moment, yeah.
The cat's on the table.
Oh,
hello, cat.
Good.
He's had enough of the flip chart.
Okay.
He's gonna maul you in a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say body language tells me he's either gonna take a massive crap on the table or he's gonna claw my eyes out.
Well, that'll be exciting either way. I guess.
That'd be great.
I think we should. Yeah, that'll be good audio.
Great audio.
We could enter that into a competition.
Anyway, let's end the segment.
Life hacks.
Life hacks. Bitches.
I basically consider. I just goes to my John's final thoughts.
John's final thoughts.
I do consider putting a beer mat on top of your drink kind of spiritually the same as putting socks on a toilet seat, because something's getting contaminated.
That's so true. I didn't even think of that aspect.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that we're all thinking about germs all the time?
Why not just take your sock off and put it over your pint glass?
There you go. This segment has been sponsored by footwear. I believe.
Yeah.
Just footwear in general.
Just footwear. Brought to you by footwear.
Yeah. No specific brand. Just
all of it.
No, I mean, like, not to go off on too much of a tangent, because I'm trying to end my section here, but like, have you ever noticed that sometimes you'll see an ad and it'll be like, for milk, and it's like, there's no brand. There's no like
the concept of it.
Who's paying for this?
Who owns milk?
Brought to you by apples.
What? You used to get adverts for eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Eggs come from everywhere. I mean, they come from chickens, but
if you grew up in the UK, you probably remember eggs, fast food, and good for you. The cat's back. Hello, cat.
It's worth me asking, how many international listeners do we have?
2.
Oh, at least 1. Maybe.
Okay.
Sorry, the cat is just running. Right. Yeah. You.
Get your cat in order, John.
Yeah, John.
Bradley, what's your opinion? Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Headbutt the mic. Why not?
Do it.
I can't wait for you to get mauled, John.
Yeah, this
we'll
is
see
gonna be
it.
great. Okay, Bradley.
I've started screen capturing.
Bradley is headbutting the microphone. Okay, yeah, he's moving the mic down. Yeah, okay.
I can see the mic moving.
Bradley,
now.
what are you doing? For God's sake. I mean, he wants something, but I checked with him.
Validation.
Yeah, but what is it, Bradley? What is
Tell
it?
him he needs to grow up.
Do I have to like your post on Instagram?
Hey, has anyone else got a hate though?
I've got a hate while John's distracted.
Right.
Quick, jump in. Take control.
My hate is trying to acquire refunds.
Okay.
Now, as a consumer, I don't think I should have to try so hard to get my fucking money.
Okay, you two keep talking. You two keep bringing the comedy.
You carry.
I'm gonna deal with this cat.
Okay, great.
You carry on.
I'll be back.
So
keep talking.
So we are talking. Yeah. We are talking.
You're interrupting the talking as you're leaving
the actual podcast.
Now it's really hard to continue.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to carry on.
Just please do.
I was due to go on a stag do.
Oh, okay.
Which many of you will be familiar with, apart from our international listener. We should call it a bachelor party.
Okay.
In Poland this summer.
Oh.
So I booked my flights accordingly, and I was going to go direct from Poland to Dublin because I was going to a football tournament in Dublin.
Delightful.
With Ryanair. So I've been trying for the best part of 2.5 months to get my money, and it is incredibly difficult. And I don't know why. I don't know why they're making it so difficult for me to get what is mine.
Especially knowing, as many transport booking ahead transport services know, there's a really good reason for why, because there is a killer virus out there that is murdering people.
Yeah. So they've cancelled the flights, fair enough. But they keep sending me emails going, oh, we're having trouble processing refunds because we've got so many at the moment. Yes,
John's
here
back.
he is.
Not,
The cat whisperer.
I'm not editing that.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's natural, organic.
So obviously a lot of flights have been cancelled. So they've been sending emails going, oh, we've got these vouchers for future flights. I'm like, well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to use them and how I'm going to be able to use them. So just give me my money.
Yeah.
And
Here's how
aren't.
simple
At
it
the
is.
moment, they are not.
I gave you some money for an equivalent service. You have not delivered the service, so I would like the money, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good day.
I hear.
So the stag was supposed to be next weekend, and the flight was obviously cancelled a little while ago. But they keep sending emails saying either take the voucher or your refund will take a while, which is obviously their tactic to try and fob me off with a voucher.
It's bullshit.
So reading,
But it's a lot of effort for me to get about 80 quid back.
yeah.
so
But I want it.
reading between the lines, I'm guessing you were trying to fly somewhere which got cancelled, and you haven't gotten a refund. And they're
I
saying,
can't believe you got it wrong so badly, John. That's just completely.
Yeah, we were actually talking about Pixies.
Yeah.
oh,
The Pixie delivery service. So
no.
nicely done.
So they offered you
And there was-
a voucher.
So they've offered me a voucher for a future travel, but fuck knows when I'm going to be able to travel again.
Exactly. Maybe never.
So just give me my money.
I remember when I was in my first year of uni, I was in catered halls, so we got like a breakfast. And, yeah, very nice. Yeah, got a
Very
breakfast,
nice. Very posh.
breakfast and an evening meal.
Ooh.
I remember once at breakfast they had like these kind of like chickeny, or maybe it doesn't matter. But anyway, they served like these kind of chicken nugget kind of things, and I remember biting into one, and it was nothing but
no.
bone.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
It was literally like a
Ooh.
pile of bones wrapped
that's
in
not
wrapped in bread.
Oh.
That's not
And
good.
I remember going back to the kitchen and saying, "Hey,
Hey.
just found this nugget, just a pile of bones," and they go like, "Oh, do you want another one?" It's like, no, I don't actually.
No, I don't.
I've really fallen out. The romance has ended.
Do you want another one? No, I want 5 more. Please.
I'll be honest. As soon as I bit into this, the trust was gone.
Yeah. The contract between...
the best answer would be, do you want another one? What do you think?
Would you eat another one?
Tell me, if there was a chance that you bit into a chicken nugget and it was just bones like this, would you take that chance? Answer now.
In general, how are you at getting refunds, Rev? I kind of imagine that you could be
I'm
belligerent.
Yeah, relentless.
I've talked my way out of. I'd certainly talked Liz out of parking tickets previously.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm quite belligerent when it comes to things like that. I'll send strongly worded letters. I once complained to a football club clubhouse because I got threatened by a bouncer, and they reprimanded the bouncer and apologised to me.
Nice. That's how it's done.
which was pretty good.
Did they make him like come into the room and like supplant himself in front of you?
I don't know. He was a big bloke. I mean, I'm glad I wasn't there when they reprimanded him.
Yeah. You
He'd
did
have had me.
Did it
He
from the
would have had
safety
me.
of your own home.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I'll tell you the story since you've asked. So Gillingham had just won at Walsall, and I was in the Walsall clubhouse afterwards with a couple of friends.
There's your mistake.
And we thought, well, because the train station at Walsall is literally over the road from the ground, so we thought, we'll get a beer for the train back to Birmingham, which is about a 20-minute train. And it was plastic beer glasses. So we're like, we'll ask the barmaid if it's okay. Da-da-da-da-da. So she said, yeah, that's fine, no problem, take them out. So we grabbed our beer, and then we went to walk out the door, and these 2 massive blokes were like, whoa, hey, whoa, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? And they basically ushered us back without, they didn't push us, but they were as good as pushing us back. And we were like, oh no, we talked to the barmaid, and then she said it was fine. Oh, I didn't say it was fine, did I? Oh, fucking, and I was like, all right, just calm down. We're celebrating a win. He goes, I don't give a fuck if you won 5-0.
Okay.
And then they made us drink up and then leave after that. So I sent a strongly worded email the day after. And I got a full apology, and the bouncer was reprimanded. Cheers, all the best.
Well, at least they told you. They told you the banter was reprimanded.
Don't fuck with me.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
Okay, fine. Sorry.
And what?
I will get you reprimanded so hard you won't even see it coming.
Oh, we
And
just
what-
had an
sorry,
email into the Big Punch inbox. Oh God! Oh no!
What town was that again?
Walsall.
Have you ever been back?
Yeah, actually, Walsall is my most visited away ground. I've been there about 9 times.
That's a great fact.
Do you tell it again?
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Do you ever imagine?
Write that. You can take that to the bank. That one.
Do you ever imagine behind the box office or whatever they've got there? There's like a little cut out CCTV.
Do not serve.
It's a picture of you with 2 drinks, like just gurning.
Yeah.
Official police mugshot.
Yeah. But I got a full written apology from like the bloke who owned the club.
Brilliant.
So I was pretty happy about that.
Dear Mr. Ray, thank you for your strongly worded letter.
Thank you for your bewildering email.
We can only apologise for our team's performance and the bouncer's behaviour. Please accept this signed shirt.
Please.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want
this
it.
opposition club. But during lockdown, obviously, I appreciate that a lot of companies are going to struggle, and that's probably why they're, let's say, delaying refunds. But we've had one for a local company as well, because you and I, John, were supposed to go on a whiskey tasting. At
yes.
a local whiskey bar, which I won't name. And that was supposed to happen, I think, in April. I think it was Easter weekend, maybe. And we haven't got a refund for that still.
Seriously?
The amount of times we've emailed them already and just nothing has happened. It's getting irritating.
I'm no economist, but what do you reckon the problem is? Like, do you reckon it's like
I'm assuming they've got no money.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So is it like all the money went into arranging the event, and then they were hoping that when people get there and get wasted, they'll make a ton of money back on booze?
It's probably all to do with like predicted incomes and everything. Like
the tasting was
everything
for
was dropped off.
The tasting was for a whiskey called Tomartin, which I visited the distillery of when I was in Inverness. So it's weird that the only 2 places I've seen it are in Inverness and Cheltenham. But that's where we are at this point. So we're going to do that tasting. And Liz bought it for my birthday, and you were going to join me, John. But obviously it's not going to happen in the near future, and maybe not ever. So we've just said, well, let's just get a refund. But they're just not replying. It's weird.
The solution is get everything you need from Amazon, because they're really good.
Yeah, I have been. I've been buying in bulk. The amount of shit in the house is unbelievable.
I recently bought a Choose Your Own Adventure book. You know those books? It was like, turn to page 308 if you turn left. Bought one of those. And it arrived, and every other page was blank.
Brilliant.
So...
That's worse than them sending you half a book.
I know! And it's not that it was like all the pages, but they had extra blank ones in. Oh, no. There was like literally every other page hadn't printed. So when it said turn to page 304, I was like, I can't. There's nothing there.
Was it like make your own adventure to such an extent that they just left the pages blank?
Oh, maybe it was. I could have added in my own sub-narrative interlaced with theirs. Oh, fuck. Well, I've sent it back now. I've got my money back, so...
Oh,
and what I really like about Amazon, and the thing that really just makes me rest easy with Amazon, is that they're just so damn ethical. Like,
so ethical.
they treat their workers like really well, and that's why I keep going back because
they clearly treat their workers really well, because you wouldn't get a half written book from Amazon, would you?
No, certainly not. And tax. Don't ask me about tax. They love it.
Tax doesn't apply to people like them. I'm pretty sure.
They just can't get enough of it.
Why should it?
Why should it? Look, they give me my money back when I ask for it. Fuck tax. Fuck ethical treatment of workers, or however you want to call it.
Hey, if my company was broken into 16 shell companies, which were each located in a different Canary Island, I'd be paying 0.1% tax as well. That's just smart investing. That's fine.
It's easy when you can build in different dimensions across space and time. It's super easy when you can do that.
Oh, yeah. And just because Jeff Bezos, or whatever his name is, old Jeff, just because he's got...
Bezos, as I like to call him.
His personal wealth is more than Denmark. I mean, that's his business.
What's that got to do with anything?
He's
entitled to the sweat of your
personal
own
wealth
brow.
is more than a country.
He worked hard.
Hogwash.
I've got one more example of me trying to acquire a refund.
Oh, great.
I'm holding here a letter.
I can see.
From Team Know How, which is the company that looks after curries.
Oh yeah.
Now you'll remember a few episodes ago I was complaining about Curry's because they didn't collect my fridge.
They didn't, did they?
No.
They have now collected my fridge. I'm pleased to confirm, but it was thanks to the kindness of one of their delivery drivers rather than the actual
and our podcast. I'd like to think.
And our podcast, sure.
Yeah, the
rather
wave
than
of
the
public
kindness
opinion.
of the company itself. So I wrote them a 12-page letter of complaint, which contained all of my tweets, all of my Facebook messages, and so on. They have written back to me this week.
Oh my god!
And I'll read you the letter. It
Excellent.
says, "Dear Mr. Ray, thank you for your contact dated 28th of April 2020. Please accept my apologies for the delay in this response. I am sorry to learn the problem you experienced with the delivery of your recent order. On checking our systems, I note you are not the registered purchaser. In line with general data protection regulations, we are unable to discuss the order with anyone other than the purchaser. Please accept my apologies that I am unable to assist you further on this occasion." There is a world of pain coming their way. They're not even going to see it coming.
I'm guessing you are the registered purchaser.
Well, no, actually, Liz is.
Okay.
So that is actually correct. However, they know that I have permission from Liz to discuss this matter with them because we established it on Twitter and on Facebook and on email and on phone.
Yeah, in the corporate world, that's a fuck you.
Yeah,
basically.
Massively. And there's so much pain coming their way.
Oh fuck yeah!
Honestly.
Let's not let this rest.
Bear in mind, my 12-page letter contained a photo of me holding a photo of me pointing at the fridge that was left on my drive. I then tweeted them a photo of me holding the letter, of me holding the photo, of me pointing at the fridge. There's so much coming. There's so much more to come.
So you're going for the Russian doll approach of bullying people by letter.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm going to accelerate this now.
Yeah, I think the next stage is to take a photo of all of that.
Oh my God.
I will not be fobbed off.
That's apparent.
Was it like now? You have recently gotten engaged, which is wonderful news.
Hooray!
Thank you. I don't think we've mentioned it on here actually.
No,
that's how we mentioned it now on the podcast.
I'm glad
That's it. Now we just dropped it into a Curry's anecdote.
My point is forcing your lovely fiance to kind of sit at the typewriter and transcribe your 48-page letter while you're pacing around the room. Liz, take a memo.
Take a memo. You'll need a ream for this
another
one,
delicious
Liz.
memo.
Prepare a fresh ream. You're going to need it.
I do.
No, I'm going to send them exactly the same document plus an additional few pages.
An appendix.
And I'm going to send them back their letter as well.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Could you just go copy, find, replace your name with the registered owner's name?
Well, I'm going to include my original letter, then I'm going to include the same letter but from Liz. Then I'm going to add a few additional pages. Then I'm going to send them their letter back as well.
Just add a few pages.
There's going to be quite a lot of paperwork for them.
Just add a lot of pages. You could put a word search in there, maybe a crossword. And then I'm going to different.
Yeah. And I'm going to make every other page blank.
Oh my God!
I know how annoying that is. That will work.
I'm going to do a choose your own refund letter.
Do a spot the difference, and one's a photo of your house with a fridge in front of it.
Yes.
And the other's a photo of it without.
No, one's a photo with it with, and one's a photo of it with but on fire.
Yeah. But yeah, so that annoyed me when that came through this week. Mm-hmm. I'd actually almost forgotten about it, but they riled me. So
they could have
get ready because it's coming.
This could have gone away, but what they've done now is reignited it in such a way.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's very exciting.
They could have just said, "I'm so sorry. Please enjoy this free voucher to the value of $3,000 or something."
Gift basket of hands,
and that would have been the end of it. I'd said no more.
Yeah, a fruit basket.
But now, or a fruit, or whatever,
fruit
a
basket
gift
of
some sort, an acknowledgement of guilt. And a fruit basket / voucher for $3,000.
I do remember
and it would have gone away, but it's not going away now.
The sheer joy I felt when the one time I fought and successfully won a parking charge dispute. It wasn't quite 12 pages, but I remember when because I parked in my own parking space, and they gave me a ticket because they were like, "Well, you don't have a permit in your window." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's my car. It's registered here." They're like, yeah, but you don't have a permit. it's my space. Like
what more can I do?
Yeah, I'm really not. You never sent us a permit, and I'm parked in my space. And yes, sir, but there were signs up everywhere saying you need to show a permit. And did I go out into the car park and take photos at each of the cardinal directions to show?
I'm guessing you did.
Should.
I did.
You should. That's
I did.
exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you should.
Hang
do.
on, though, John. What you didn't do is take a picture of you taking pictures of every cardinal.
No, I should have been like just.
Yes, exactly. Like the cover of Hello magazine.
That's the photo. That's the photo I tweeted to them of me pointing at the fridge.
Oh, I remember.
Then I sent them a photo of me holding a photo of that. When we got a parking ticket once, just to finish this off, we were going to a charity event at a hotel, which was for the charity Liz worked for, and we then got a parking fine for parking there because we weren't hotel guests. But it was a 1920s theme, so we were in an outfit befitting that title. So my defence was, look at what we're wearing. We were obviously at this event, and you cannot therefore give us a parking ticket because we were there at a charity event that was being held and covered by your hotel. Good. So my defence was, basically was, look at us.
Mr. Ray, we get this defence daily. I do not know why you would think that would sort anything out. We constantly get pictures of our clients in 1920s dress. Please consider this subject.
But to be fair, it only took me one letter that time, and they said, "Yeah, fair enough. We're not going to fine you anymore."
Fair enough.
Yeah, look at us.
Do you feel that we've lost something in the modern era when now, if we're unhappy about something, we take to Twitter, whereas back in the day, you would just write a letter.
Yeah.
You would be like a man of letters.
But being public about it is the only way you'll get a response. If you don't tweet them, they won't respond to you. You've got to be aggressive, otherwise you won't get anywhere.
Oh yeah, you say that, but I've dealt with a lot of organisations which just will ignore you. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why they'll ignore you.
Yeah.
That's why you've got to be aggressive about it. Otherwise, that you won't get anywhere.
Pictures of pictures.
You got to hound them on every social media platform available, on the phone, in post, and in person if you can.
It's a lot of work. But...
It's a lot of work.
Have you ever just like, not as a complaint, not to get a refund, but have you ever just contacted a company out of the blue in the hope that you might get some free stuff? Because you hear like those news stories, like that little girl who wrote to Tesco's, I think, to say, why is your tiger bread called tiger bread? It's not stripy. Yeah. And they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna rename it and call it giraffe bread now.
And here's 10 free loaves.
Yeah, a day.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to eat all them before they go stale. So that was an empty gesture, but.
My friend's dad used to eat this one brand of soup every single day, like tin soup. God knows what his toilets were like, but anyway. But yeah, one day they changed the recipe, I think, or something, and it was like he'd been having this daily. So of every customer that they have, he was infinitely equipped to know that something had changed. And so he stopped buying it because he didn't like it anymore. And he sent them a letter, and he was just like, I don't expect anything from this letter, but I just want to let you know that your recent recipe change has led to me not buying your product anymore because I don't enjoy it. Thank you very much. Yours sincerely, whoever he was. And they sent him vouchers for more of the soup.
Why would he want that?
He doesn't want the soup. He said that. Yeah. He said he didn't like the soup. So, doesn't always work out. Just saying, you might get a chicken nugget full of bones.
I'm trying to think of an occasion when I've done that, and I must have done it, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I want to start chicken nugget full of bones. There's a phrase for when you don't get what you want, by the way. So it's like, oh, that's a right chicken nugget full of bones. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay.
This may be like urban legend, but when I remember a teacher at secondary school telling us about a friend of theirs who had written to Roundtrees to complain that there were too many green fruit pastels in their tube.
I
didn't mind the green. I didn't mind the green fruit pastels.
I love the green ones.
I like the green ones.
I think they're all amazing.
Green and purple.
Oh, all really good.
No, I'm a big fan of the wine gum. I'm a big pan of fruit pastels would make me very happy. And apparently the legend goes that they got sent a crate of fruit pastels because they mentioned that.
Well, a lot of companies do that now because they know that people will put it on Twitter and they'll get good PR out of it.
Plus, it costs them next to nothing to send you a load of their stock.
Yeah, but time it takes them to click enter on the email, they've already made the money they've lost back from sending you a crate
with new customers.
God, can you imagine? How do you suppose, like, like when people supposedly win, like, you've won a lifetime supply of beer, or you've won,
I always think about this. Yeah.
How does it work?
That's probably based on an average, isn't it?
I always picture it, right, as a dump truck pulling up at your house, full of. So if it's chicken nuggets, lifetime supply of chicken nuggets, it's just a dump truck full of loose chicken nuggets.
Where do you want them?
They just tip them onto your lawn and then fuck off.
And then the crows descend. Oh no!
No, my precious nuggets.
Like, surely they work it out on the average life expectancy and then the average amount per year.
And then they probably send you vouchers, which is really disappointing because I want nuggets through my door.
Yeah, I would rather the dump truck, even if it was a huge inconvenience.
What I would take is they install a pipe into my house, right? And it's got a chicken nugget flap on the inside of the house. I don't mind which room they come into. I'm not fussy, right? There's just a flap and a hole, and then every day you just hit a little bell rings, ding, 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 and I'm like, yes, and I run to the spout.
Like a hamster.
That's conditioning.
I just made myself
Wait, so you don't even get to flick a switch or pull a rope. They just come at a set time.
It's feeding time. It's feeding time.
When it comes, I just have to listen for the bell.
Is it the same? So it's not the same time every day.
No.
It could be the middle of the night.
I mean, that sounds like a terrible existence.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to sleep.
No. Oh, God, no, you can't sleep. How many come at a time? Is it?
I mean, I think that would vary as well. But it's always an average amount that you'll get over a week, say.
Right.
But, like, it could be 10, it could be 4. I mean, who knows?
That's what they call a Skinner box. They found like, when they had, like, I don't know, mice or squirrels in a lab. And they found that, like, if you train them to press a button, and they'll get, like, one nugget, they lose interest. They don't care. But if there's, like, a randomized element where sometimes it's 1 or sometimes it's 10, that's how they get addicted to it.
Yeah,
that's what they say with dog. When you're dog training, you shouldn't give a dog a treat every time because otherwise they'll just know. Like if you switch it up and don't give them a treat every time, but say good or whatever, then they will know to do it more because they might get something.
There's a chance of it.
This will definitely happen if that happens. Sort of thing.
You see, when you described it, Nick, what I kind of imagined was that you had like a series of piping and guttering like going around the house. My brain went to like you just being on the sofa, feeling a little hungry, and then being able to like pull a rope and just like a shower of nuggets would kind of come down a pipe.
See, that's very decadent, hedonistic almost, I'd say. But like mine, my fantasy for some reason involved me having to sprint through my house to the spout with a bowl or just my open mouth, and just when I hear the bell, just going then. I don't know why that was what I thought would be the best.
Except the opening is at ground level, so you can't even like put a bowl under it. You've got to get down and just kind of like open your mouth.
Yeah, and you've got to eat them fast because otherwise they're going to fall on the floor, and no one wants that. So yeah.
I've got a hate.
While you start your hate, John, I'm going to grab a beer.
Oh, what the fuck is going on here?
You carry on.
With this
I'll
episode?
be back.
Jeez, I'm going to have to pop off for a bit then.
Yeah.
The cat's back as well. Anything could happen.
Tell us all about it, John.
I hate the sexification of allergies.
Okay.
Now, this builds on complaints I've had in the past about marketing just clutching at straws, like just desperately. Everyone assumes that like a marketing executive knows what they're doing, but actually they're like, "Oh, hey guys, good news! Our agency just landed the toilet paper deal. We're going to be selling toilet paper." And everyone goes, and they go, "Oh, great! Yeah, that's like 50 mil. It's going to be amazing." And they shut the door on the client. They go, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We'll get you there. It's going to be fine." And then they all just start crying. What have we done? Oh my god, we don't know anything. Marketing is all a lie. We have no idea. And that's why they come up with campaigns where they're like, "Are you a folder or a scruncher?"
Oh, for God's sake.
Because we've got no fucking idea. So, Chris Frey, what you missed is I hate the sexification of allergies.
Oh yeah.
Which is basically like when you're trying to market something which is inherently
non-sexy,
non-market.
But if you don't mind me saying, John, you have historically had a number of allergies.
This is my point.
So how has the advertising differed from when you were young?
It hasn't really. I think what just really annoys me is hay fever in particular kills me. Like I have really bad hay fever.
Yes, you do.
I'm on some quite wonderful drugs right now, which I have to get from a doctor. I have to get actually out on a prescription because they're a little more powerful.
A doctor?
A doctor?
Don't trust them.
No, just go and I don't know, chew on a willow branch or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Eat a rosemary twig.
Doctors don't know what they're talking about.
But my point is, like, it annoys me twofold every time I see an advert for. I saw one the other day, and it was just for like one of those like over-the-counter kind of off-the-shelf like nasal sprays, and it's like, and the advert's like, oh, here's to all the allergy, like, you know, the allergy hiders. You know who you are. And the video is like a couple driving in like an open roof car through like this field of flowers, and the lady in the car like, oh, she's got a bit of hay fever, like, oh, her nose is running, but she doesn't want her partner to see that she has allergy
because he's a monster.
That's weird.
So she kind of like looks to the side and kind of like just like snuffles her nose on like her sleeve, and the voiceover's like, here's to all the allergy hiders. You know who you are. And I'm like,
this is such a weird campaign angle.
Yeah, and I bet there's like a whole, you know, then they're like, here's to all the allergy warriors or something like that. And there'll be like a big tough guy, like, you know, outdoors and refusing to sneeze. You know, and it annoys me because like everyone in these hay fever adverts, and yes, it is hay fever, everyone in these bloody adverts has like the mildest iteration of the symptoms where they go like, oh, my eyes are a little, oh, I've got a bit of a tear, or they go, oh, you know, and then they go, and then little, you know, get the squeezy bottle out, go sniff, sniff, up the nose. Ah, it's fine. I can now run out into a field. That's bullshit. That has never.
I mean, I was with you at Witchwood Festival in Cheltenham, John, when you were pretty much dying of hay fever.
It's horrendous. Yeah,
you were blind.
Yeah.
You were dribbling.
It's like a physical pain. It's like your head, your nose, your eyes. They ache. It's not even like a burn. They hurt. My entire body hurts. And if they tried to make an advert with actual hay fever sufferers, it would not be pretty.
No.
It'd be like leaking from.
Are you annoyed that you don't look sexy when you have hay fever?
Nobody does. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie. Like people going into like anaphylactic shock because they looked at I don't know, bloody daisy or something like that. Like some tosser in a marketing suite is going, how can we make hay fever sexy? It's like, I don't care. You could sell it in like a brown bottle. You could sell it in like a grey brick, which I have to lick once a day. I do not care.
This isn't the kind of product that lives or dies in sales based on how sexy you make it. People have hay fever. That is a fact. People want drugs that cure hay fever symptoms if they have it. So they're going to buy your product. What you should be selling it on is how well it solves the problem, not some weird, like, weird idea. Woo, fuck off.
I feel like we live in an age now that people are more aware of everything. So people are just like, I know what hay fever is. I know what I need to do. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Whereas like previously, people were stupid.
Yeah.
And they needed to be advertised to in a sexy way.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So companies have now cottoned onto that and thought, the sexiness worked. Let's continue that.
Or I think they have this idea where it's like, everyone knows everything about everything now. We can't say anything new. And if we try to, we'll be exposed for being liars because we essentially are. So what we need to do is something quirky and something weird that sticks out in people's minds.
I hate that. Where people go, oh, we want to go viral. I think I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
When I can't. That is probably my least favourite phrase now. We want to go viral. Oh,
I've actually spent this last week designing a campaign for a client. I can't really tell you any more about it than that. But it was quite Well, you're just not worth it, really.
You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand. It's way beyond you. And actually,
I'd have switched off anyway.
There was some of this sort of thinking, like how can we make this topic a bit more interesting. But one of the things I had on this video call with this client was like, how do you go viral? That's what she asked me.
Oh, God.
Because it's a social media campaign that I'm designing, and it was like, just out of interest, as if to say, like, we're not necessarily going to want to go viral, but just out of interest, how do you go viral? And I was like, well, I wish I could give you the formula for going viral.
Yeah.
but again, I do feel like this our entire podcast boils down to not liking marketing, and yet all kind of working in that area.
Yeah, you work in comms. I think
Chris works in marketing. We know too much. We know too much. I think that's our problem.
I just like if you worked it out, like if they said like how do you go viral, and if you just kind of like spoken from the heart,
just use the hashtag viral.
Yeah, if you started like you just start talking and you don't know where it's coming from. It's like you just opened up this well inside you, and slowly the doors open and more people come into the room because they just stop what they're doing because you've solved marketing.
Yeah,
like
it's done.
You've done it. It's over.
Yeah,
you've just put everybody out of a job because you did it right. Nobody knows. There's no way of knowing.
No,
but I do know that if I was designing a hay fever ad, it would be more like a David Lynch movie. It would just be like
we rated 18.
Somebody,
it would be like Sin City aesthetic.
Oh yeah, actually that'd be quite.
And whenever anyone sneezes, it comes out in bright yellow.
Oh
yeah,
God.
And their eyes are just red, and like they just kind of like look up at the sky and scream, and then it just cuts to the brand name.
When it...
Hard cut.
I think when it comes to marketing a medicine, which is essentially what we're talking about here, I don't think I want gimmicks. Like, that puts me off of the medicine.
Yeah.
That makes me think of old patent, like tonics and stuff back from the 1800s or whatever. It's like, oh, Mr. Miracle's like acne juice. Right, yeah, I'm not going to put that in my mouth.
It was mostly the good thing. Actually, I do want to go back to those days of like elixirs because it was mostly opium.
That's true. It's laudanum and opium. And like we were talking about off air about how much, or was it on air? I can't remember.
God knows.
About how much a beer helps.
It all merges now, doesn't it? On air, off air, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, I feel like I'm on a podcast all the time. But yeah, just like a beer helps sometimes to quieten the voices in your head, so does a lot of opium, probably.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like you used to get like they talk about like a nerve tonic, that sort of thing, and it was basically just like a mix of, I say, laudanum, bit of booze, maybe a few herbs, and a bit of lavender oil
for flavour.
Yeah, it's just tingly,
Yeah.
And you can't feel your feet after you drink it, and it's wonderful.
I remember hearing that it doesn't matter whether it solves the problem. What matters is whether it does something, because if it does something, then people are like, oh, it must be doing something. Whereas if it didn't do anything, that is to say, it didn't have any effect on you at all, they're like, this is useless, this doesn't work.
Even if it's doing more harm than good in the long term.
It's doing something.
It's The Simpsons. It's another line from The Simpsons, isn't it? The only thing I could give you would be a placebo. Where can we get these placebos? Maybe there's some of this truck. And they turn the truck over and it's killer bees.
I'm cured. I mean, ow.
I mean, ouch.
I remember reading about back in the days of like elixirs and miracle cures. They all thought that like lead was like a wonderful thing. Like lead would just like sort you right out. So was it lead or mercury?
Mercury. Mercury was often used as a cure-all, wasn't it?
Isn't lead incredibly harmful?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So is mercury.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I could be getting this wrong, but I swear they'd get like a lump of lead or something, and you swallow it, and then it would go all the way through you. Probably make you much sicker.
Sure.
And then
it would certainly clean your insides. Wouldn't
it? It would. Yeah. And then when
everything you need,
when you poop it out, you'd wash it off and save it for the next time.
Great.
That would be an almighty thud, wouldn't it?
My parents
break the porcelain with that.
My parents told me how when they were in science class when they were kids at school, that they used to get mercury out onto the desk and they used to just push it around with their fingers. And my dad remembers sort of reminiscing, like it was really weird because by the end of the lesson it had all gone. It's like it had evaporated. And it was inside you now. It's inside you now, Dad.
It's really weird, that. Yeah.
It's really weird. It's all gone. Where'd it go? And the teacher's just like fucked off in his mind at the front. Like, woohoo! This is the third Mercury lesson today.
There's an absolutely amazing podcast called S-Town. I would
called a show called Hate.
Well, it's a different genre. I don't want to say it's better. It's just it comes from a genre about
it's probably better
journalistic integrity. So yeah, it's all right.
Oh, that sounds definitely better.
But there was this guy who basically he could do this this like process called flame gilding. Like he repaired clocks, and it was like this insanely dangerous old way of making something gold.
Right.
So he said you take a load of gold and you dissolve it in mercury.
Oh my god.
Which is already kind of like hella toxic, and then you take this golden liquid, you paint it where you want it to go, and then you get like a blowtorch out and you blowtorch it, and the mercury evaporates and leaves the gold behind.
Great.
And apparently they used to use mercury in the hat making industry.
Yes, hence the Mad Hatter, isn't it?
Yeah, because it kind of there's like an advanced form of mercury poisoning where you do kind of go insane.
Woohoo!
Which is good.
Great, I guess.
We have, I think.
I can't wait to find out what is harmful to us that we use every day.
Oh god, like the whole asbestos thing. It's just like, yay,
I can't wait. It's going to be
asbestos
great.
Jewelry.
In 50 years, where we all find out that things we use every day have been incredibly harmful to our well-being.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Can't wait. It's going to be a great
like
day.
mobile phones will be banned in 50 years because they're so harmful.
There's actually we actually have a blob of mercury in the room. I'm staring at it right now.
Yeah, I have some mercury somewhere as well.
Yeah, it's in like a little.
Oh no, it's gone.
It got out. I think my chemistry teacher told me back in the day about how, or so like a friend of a friend of a friend. It's some kind of story about how like their scout or cub master back when they used to have like, oh, how'd you get your science badge or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They used to get like they had like little drops of mercury. So they, much like your dad was describing, like they get like a little drop and you chase it around. And then you go, oh, where did the mercury go? I don't know. And then apparently years later, when they renovated the building, they ripped up the floorboards and they found there was a little ocean of mercury under the floorboards because it had just fallen through the floor and it just sat there. So God knows what they've been breathing in for years.
Oh, geez.
That's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah,
I have to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I kind of want to have like gloves on or something.
I want to know how it feels.
Yeah.
my parents said they had it in the palms of their hands. They were just like rocking it backwards and forwards from one hand to the next. It's mad.
Those are the days.
Hey, weren't they just?
Those
anyway,
are the days.
Do we have any community love or hates this time?
Nah, didn't check.
Great. I should have said that off air, shouldn't I? Really?
Don't worry, we'll cut that. They won't hear anything. It's fine. Who's got a love?
I don't look at the Facebook group. For God's, what do you think I am? Stupid.
We do love you, listeners. We do.
No, we do have some loves, but we'll get to them in our next episode. We're saving them up.
Excellent.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, Nicholas. I've got a love. I love the fact that the Catamaran Daily Comics are back.
Shameless self-promotion.
Shameless plug.
Putting the hack into life hack.
Damn right. I know it's basically just a glorified ad, but at the same time, it's another Big Punch product to enjoy. So there's that.
You're bringing me round.
But also, like, there's some real genuine positive vibes it's bringing me at the moment, which is good. It feels good to be telling stories with them again. I used to do, for context, I used to do a daily comic years ago.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Let's assume that everyone listens to this podcast because of our humour and breakout talent.
Sure, okay.
Who are you, Nick, and what do you do?
Hello there, I'm Nick Angel, and I draw silly pictures. I draw comics, as I think we've talked about before. And one of the comics I started drawing in 2010 as a daily comic. So I drew a 4-panel like joke strip comic every single day for what turned out to be 1,000 days, way back then, and finished in, I think it was late 2012, because it was nearly, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, either way, it was nearly 3 years of comics every single day, and that was pretty tough going. But it sort of resulted in a big sort of story and world for these daft two characters who sail around in a catamaran. And I've sort of since then done other drawing-y bits with them. And I've always thought, oh, could I do it? Could I do the daily comics again? Because it was really hard every single day trying to think of something at least remotely funny to draw and say. But then I realised that this year was the 10th anniversary of Catamaran. On September the 21st, it will be 10 years since I've been drawing them, which is mad. So I thought I will bring the daily comics back as a sort of lead up to that day. So I've done number 7 today, and so in 93 strips time, it will be their 10th anniversary.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How are you finding it?
This is amazing. I'm actually finding it quite Not easy. It's not easy. It's never easy, but it's coming naturally. I'm not having to like sit and tear my hair out and struggle trying to think of something. I feel like I've grown them as characters so much over the 10 years I've been enjoying them that actually like I have a fair amount to pull from now, which is kind of cool. And telling stories is coming a little bit more naturally, I think, than maybe even it was back then when I did the first 1,000. So yeah,
is it
good.
hard to update these beloved characters for a new era? Like, because a lot's happened in 10 years. Like,
This is true.
Will Catamaran really resonate with an 18-year-old today? Can you work TikTok in?
That's the thing, isn't it? I've got to get Fortnite in. I've got to get TikTok in. I've got to get memes.
Nick,
sweet memes.
None of the characters have arms or legs. You're not going to be able to do any of the dances, which I understand are popular on Fortnite. And
oh god, both of those platforms, TikTok and Fortnite, are popular because of dancing. Oh god. Oh well.
Oh well, never mind.
Oh well, turns out I don't care.
well, if somebody was very much enjoying or the conversation we've just had about Catamaran and they wanted to actually see it with their eyes in a visual medium, how would they find it?
This is possible thanks to the
nice.
wonders of modern technology and the internet, as I like to call it.
It's going to be massive, I think, the internet. It's going to be huge.
I think it's really got potential, especially now in the middle of lockdown.
Yeah.
Your best always best shot is catamaran.com. The comics are on there. But the way that helps and supports me as an artist the most is either Instagram or Facebook. So if you go on Facebook and search Catamaran, you'll find it. Or if you go on Instagram and search @Catamaran, all one word, that's MERINGUE, like the dessert. Then, yeah, I'm updating both of those places daily with the new strips. So
wonderful.
Yeah, follow along there. And, let's have fun. Woo!
I enjoy Catamaran.
I am glad to hear it.
And I don't enjoy visual mediums normally.
I don't like looking at things.
I'll tell you the biggest.
Doesn't like music.
No, well, like one of the biggest laughs related to Catamaran I've had is when John drew Matt and Kerrang, which I thought was brilliant. I looked at that. I was just sitting on, so I burst out laughing. That is excellent.
I'm so glad that I can somehow make this moment, Nick, your moment, about me.
About you, yeah. Well, look,
I think it's very important that we all share in each other's moments.
I like the fact that Chris Ray's favourite Catamaran moment is something I didn't draw. I really like that. That's really nice.
I didn't say favourite. I said one of.
It's up there.
I was very careful to say one of.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
there's nothing more to say really, other than that it's bringing me joy at the moment, and I'm happy that it's back, and I hope people would pop along and read it. That's it, really.
Chris Ray, is there anything you'd like to shamelessly promote? What's your love?
Yes, I'm launching a new business.
Toilet socks.
No, my love is, have you heard of 100 Happy Days?
Isn't that like an online challenge? Sort of?
It's an online challenge where you have to, every day for 100 days, say something that you love and you love doing and you've had fun doing and all this, that and the other. And Liz has been doing it.
She has.
And it's been good fun. I've enjoyed seeing it and finding the joy in each day where possible in these challenging times. I mean, because she started it because it was the day after lockdown she started doing it.
Oh,
so she's been doing it throughout lockdown. So she's soon to reach 100 days. I mean, when lockdown was announced, she was very upset, and I thought that was quite rude because it meant she'd be spending more time with me. So she decided to do 100 happy days because I don't bring her enough happiness.
No, well, I could have said that.
And who can argue with her?
Wait. Hang on a minute.
Hang on a second.
How did she know there was going to be 100 days of lockdown?
She didn't. She's still going on.
Yeah, but it was still in kind of in lockdown.
We were never in lockdown, but let's not get started on that.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's like she's
on day
knowledge.
90 something, I think now. I don't know what day she's on. I can have a quick look while we're talking.
Has she run out of things?
I like her posts.
Has she run out of things to be happy of? Much like we did around episode 30.
Some days she's asked me what she could put. No, I've had to help her. But day 89 she's on, and today's day was our walk in the forest.
Very nice.
Which is very nice. So she's only got 11 days left.
Do they have to be? I do find it amazing that Liz has somehow managed to overtake our own podcast, which in a weird way is about finding things you love as well as hating on things.
Sure.
And arguably she's displaying more creativity
definitely.
than we have
I'd
in
say
the
so.
entire...
I'd say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well, I feel this podcast is ostensibly about hate, and then we find things we love just as a balancing
Excuse.
act.
That's just how we sugar the pill at the end, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just so we're not completely horrible people.
Exactly.
No, well, exactly. We don't want to just look like pricks.
Is a nice thing about having your significant other do 100 happy days, kind of like waiting for your cameo appearances?
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say this. Is it looking forward to seeing if and how you make her happy?
Yeah, sure.
operative.
That's part of it. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Let's make it about you.
I mean, her most popular one, generally speaking, actually, the most popular ones in terms of likes have been the ones in which I have appeared.
Of course.
But I don't want to dwell on that.
No, but let's dwell on it.
But let's. I mean, the most likes she got was our engagement photo,
Why is that?
which was very nice. I don't know. People seemed happy for us. Don't know.
Okay,
why,
cool.
Which is nice of them.
Yeah, but it's weird though because maybe this is the beginning of a trend or a correlation because you did play some part in the engagement kind of process.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I played something of a minor role in that happening. Yes.
Yeah, secondary role.
Yeah.
what was her second most? Is it like engagement?
I genuinely think it's me playing Scrabble. I'm not sure though. I might be wrong, but I think it was me playing.
I tell you what,
yeah.
when she's done with the 100, I want to see a breakdown of data and statistics. Like I want to see charts and graphs that highlight.
I mean, if there's anything that will drain the joy out of that process, it will be the acquisition of statistics.
John will love it. John can do it.
Get me an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. Just get John the raw data and he'll process the data.
Oh my god, yes.
Just hearing the word raw data just
while we're
excited
talking
him.
about Excel spreadsheets, I've done because I'm going to bring it back to football again.
You don't get two loves.
I did a Jill's Lads away days.
He's off the chain
this year.
We're off the
And
reservation.
it was spreadsheet to detail what games we'd been to,
Great.
what games we were attending, the cost to attend those games, who had got tickets, who hadn't got tickets. Oh, it's a masterpiece, that spreadsheet.
Mona Lisa of Jill's spreadsheet.
I've also got a spreadsheet detailing every Gillingham game I've been to. Ever.
You have talked about this on the podcast before, I think. About how you
I think I
update
have.
it.
Yeah. There's about 230 games detailed on that.
Is it like you've got like a scatter cloud of like goals, and then like you've got beers drunk in bar format, and then general happiness is a line, or
I feel like if I actually analysed the amount of beer I drank, generally it would really upset me.
Yeah, best to leave that.
So
one.
it's probably best just to not pull on that thread. To be honest.
Have you got a love?
Especially at football. Football is really the only time I get properly pissed up now.
Great.
well, is that just because of lockdown and social distancing, or just life
generally?
in general?
Life in general. Lockdown and that. The only time, ironically, I get pissed is when I'm. It's just the way it's happened. I think.
The thing's like I can't like. I have like a couple of beers of a night, and then I feel like, oh, definitely hit my limit. And then I chat to you, and you're like, oh yeah, sorry, I really tied one on last night with the lads.
The problem is because we do a weekly quiz
15.
on Zoom. Me and my Gillingham supporting friends, and it's heavy. Every week, it's very heavy. It's like we're doing shots for every wrong answer we get and things like that. So it gets. By about 1:30 in the morning, you're thinking, "Oh my good God, this is not fun anymore."
Let me sleep, dear God. Let me sleep under the chicken nugget chute. John, do you have a love for us?
I have a love.
Home.
Nick
and Chris.
Chris.
Well, and/or yeah.
Hardware.
That's shit.
I've coped quite well during lockdown because of DIY.
Yes.
And my insatiable lust for hammering things was kind of blocked by not having the necessary supplies. And for 2 days, it's been very frustrating because I'm trying to renovate this cupboard. We've got like this weird built-in cupboard thing, and I want to put some shelving up and paint, and like I had a roller, but I didn't have like I actually had like the frame of a paint roller, but I didn't have the foam bit that goes over the head, or it didn't quite fit. It was the wrong size, and then the whole thing was too big because the cupboard's quite narrow, and I was like, and I just had like the scrapings at the bottom of a tub of polyfiller, like not even the good. Like it's like
you love polyfiller.
I love polyfiller. It's amazing.
You could build walls out of polyfiller,
and I was like, you can,
and you should.
Our house practically is. And I went to B&Q this morning. Other brands.
I can't think of any.
But
nope.
I can't
think of
any. Wicks, maybe.
I had my mask on.
It's closed.
I observed social distancing. But I went to B&Q this morning, and my God, I was so happy. Like when I was little, and my dad would go to like home base or something and drag me along and be like, "This is the most boring place in the world. I hate it."
Yeah, just take me to Toys R Us, please, God.
But me browsing MDF earlier, like, it was the happiest I've been. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." This is the first like non-food based shopping trip I've made in 3 months, and it was incredible. And I just love it. Like we've got MDF boarding and some planks in the kitchen right now, just resting on the side, and the smell of MDF is delightful.
It's carcinogenic, I think.
It is carcinogenic. Don't get too close, but the general aroma is beautiful. I
think the smell is purchases. It's like because I felt this morning, like because I've been high risk, I've been shielding. I haven't even done food shopping. I haven't done anything that interacts with any other.
See, my theory is you didn't even get a text. So you just wanted to get out of food shopping.
So I had this weird urge this morning. I was like, I really just want to go shopping. Like, I don't care what I'm spending my money on, but I haven't been spending any money on anything. Like, the joint account is what does all the shopping and everything. And because I haven't been like going into town on the weekend, woo, what shall I buy? Ooh, I haven't had any of that. So I found myself just having an urge to buy objects this morning. So I know how you feel.
Yeah. You do occasionally. Most of your Instagram posts are it's the bizarre new or old games console you picked up secondhand.
That's the thing. Have you seen that lately? No, you have not, because I haven't been buying.
You did gain some bizarre little device for making pixel art.
That's true. I did buy that. Yeah. That was the wonder of online buying. But that doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same way as going into a shop and just burning money on stuff you don't need. That's not. I needed this little pixel art thing. I needed that. That was functional.
Oh no, of course, no, and I think it's wonderful that you have this kind of addiction, basically.
Yeah,
when you're like,
it's a problem.
Like, oh, Nick, do you have a Game Boy? Well, I've got 17 actually.
So fuck off.
It's a fine collection of Game Boys.
I've even got the Game Boy Neon, which only 6 were released in southern China. I had to kill a man in open combat to get this one.
They all have a little piece of Shigeru Miyamoto's skin attached somewhere to them.
In time, somebody will kill me for it. But that's the circle of life.
That's just how it goes, being a retro video game collector.
You do have a device called a Wonder Swan.
Yeah. I've got
it's neither a swan nor wonderful, as I understand it.
It's quite wonderful, actually. So back off. It's a console that a handheld console you can play in landscape or portrait format. How amazing is that? I mean, no developers took advantage of it, and the console died on its ass. But still, it's amazing. Even so, especially even so. So there, suck it. Well, anyway, managed to make that about me.
Well, no, it's not. All I'm saying is, it's like seconds before we started recording today, I was putting another coat of paint on. You know, myself, yeah. Well, no, kind of yes, because my painting outfit at the moment is my pajamas.
Okay.
So I don't know why.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think I will need new pajamas at some point. But I am kind of just like rapidly changing clothing, just because like if you've got the tools, you can just do it. Like nothing frustrates me more than having to wait on being able to do something. I'm very impatient. Like everything has to be now.
Yeah.
So like
you're a product of the modern era, John.
I am. I need everything now. That's my biggest problem, and I'm just like
they should write a song about that, shouldn't they? Like, wanting it all and wanting it now.
Yeah, no,
they should do a song about it.
Yeah, or a song called Everything Now.
Yeah.
Which is a song.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, great show, everyone.
Let's end on a high.
Woo!
So, gentlemen, what won? Love or hate?
I'm going to vote love.
Well, I'm going to... Because my situation with curries is still ongoing, I'm going to vote hate.
Okay. Oh, you get to decide, John.
I'm going to say love.
Oh,
Yay!
for fuck's sake.
Because
Yay!
I've been huffing a lot of MDF, and I just feel good all the time.
Yeah, my Mercury's gone missing, so I feel great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us.
Yes, thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for joining us as well.
You're welcome, of course.
This has been remarkable.
Thank you, John, for being here as well.
Thank
you,
also everyone. Thank you.
This is
so much.
This is my 100 happy day one.
First
day of
100.
Oh, I'm happy that we shared this moment.
Okay.
Together.
Sure, whatever. I don't know.
Was that too much chicken or too much mercury? I can't tell.
That's a chicken nugget full of bones.